Good morning. My name is Mario Gomez. I'm Day Operations with California Incident Management Team 1. I'm going to give you your morning update on the east zone of the Dixie fire. Last night we received some precipitation. It was less than what was expected. So today resources are going to continue to patrol and mop up and respond to calls for service. I'm going to start your morning update with the area by Taylorsville. Here on this hand line that you can see that comes down the hill from Grizzly Ridge to Genesee Valley, resources are going to be staffing this section of hand line today, patrolling and mopping up, dealing with any smokes that could potentially cause concerns for our control line. Moving up into Division Romeo, which is our along Grizzly Ridge, folks are going to also be patrolling and mopping up in this area as well and conducting suppression repair operations on the dozer lines along Grizzly Ridge. Moving down into Lake Davis, resources are going to be patrolling and mopping up, responding to calls for service. We've had a couple of calls on Turner Ridge over the last couple days, and again, we're going to be working on suppression repair in here as well. Moving down into Dixie Valley, all along here in Coyote Hills, resources will be patrolling and be available for calls for service, and that holds true all the way up to Dixie Mountain. In this area, also resources will be working on suppression repair, working on the hand lines and dozer lines that were put in during the suppression phase of the fire. On this edge of the fire here, it still continues to hold up against the Beckworth Complex fire scar, and it's going to be patrolled by air. Coming on down into Division Papa, which is along the 395 corridor, resources are going to be patrolling and mopping up and responding to calls for service. Down here in the front country along 395, folks are going to be working on suppression repair as well, and that'll hold true all the way up to Janesville. Coming on down into the Black Mountain campsite and along this fire's edge that you can see here, continuing, resources will be patrolling and mopping up as necessary to address any concerns along this dozer line that you can see in Division Oscar all the way back to the Walker fire scar. Moving up into the Milford area on what was called the Janesville spot, resources are going to be patrolling and mopping up as necessary, working on suppression repair, and being available to respond to calls for service. We'll have folks positioned along the 395 corridor all through this area, and then working up on suppression repair on these dozer lines that you can see here all the way up to Antelope Lake. In Antelope Lake on Fruit Growers Boulevard, we'll be patrolling and mopping up and working on suppression repair in here as well, restoring these dozer lines back to their natural state. And that holds true all the way up to the east-west zone break, which is here. Moving down into Indian Valley, resources continue to patrol and respond to calls for service in the vicinity of Greenville, which is here on the map, and all the way down around to Taylorsville, and then back up into the north arm of Indian Valley. So we have folks working out in this area and conducting suppression repair and responses to calls for service. Moving down into the Mount Huff area, we've got suppression repair taking place along the Mount Huff Lookout Road, and folks will be patrolling and mopping up and responding to calls for service in the vicinity of Ketty, and also conducting suppression repair operations here. Continuing out to the west towards Meadow Valley, resources are patrolling, mopping up, and working on suppression repair, and that holds true all through Meadow Valley into the Bucks Lake Wilderness. And out here we've got folks working on the PCT, working on suppression repair along the PCT, and patrolling and mopping up as necessary. And that continues to be the case all the way out to Story. Now I'm going to move up to Caribou, and we're going to talk about the vicinity of Caribou. We had an interior island that was burning a couple of days ago inside the Chips fire scar. We staffed it with a couple of crews initially, and they were able to get handline around it. The last few days we've been staffing it with 2 engines and 2 water tenders, and they're going to continue to secure and mop up, but currently it poses no threat, and we will continue to staff that interior island until there is no longer a need. And that's the end of your morning report. Thank you and have a good day.